peeling back the layers of the part I've been playing for you. Used to be so easy, now I get queasy when things start going wrong. And in this life we all know that the starting is the hardest part. Do you believe me, or even see me as I fall apart?
Something on my mind, finally not afraid to say it. I know it took some time, used to read it in a press release what I was going through. But I got stories too. The fear of being last, everybody knows when you don't. If every feeling passed, then why am I still stuck with this one? I should see it through and change my point of view. I try to catch it when the moment's over. I try to fill up though it's pouring over, 'cause I have reached a point where nothing matters, and I'm signing up this open letter. I go down in blue, and that will be on you. Now what is going on? The answers are right here reflected, but still you get it wrong, 'cause you heard everyone's but my perspective.
As you can see from the smile on my face, I am super excited about this video. How's everybody out there doing today? It's of course your boy Valandis. This is officially my first time ever in life shooting with a Red camera. But I do want to start off by saying that this is not my camera. I did not buy a Red camera. I wish I did, but I didn't. This is my homie Cody's camera. He let me borrow it for the weekend. So shout out to Cody, because I can't say that I would have let someone borrow my Red camera for a weekend. But I appreciate it because now I was able to finally pop my Red cherry. That sounded crazy. A lot of people probably don't see the worth in making a video on a camera that they've only used for 3 days. But like I said, it's not my camera and I don't have one. And I'm not gonna pass up to use one of my dream cameras. Well, not a dream camera, but like definitely dream brand camera. I'm not gonna pass that up. Like, why would I do that? And the Red camera brand in the filmmaking industry holds a lot of weight. So I had to see for myself what it was all about. But I will say that I've been shooting with it non-stop for the last 3 days, and I'm not here to talk to y'all about technical stuff or the specs of this camera, because that's not necessarily too important. And also, this is not a full in-depth review or overview of this camera. I just want to talk about my experience finally using a Red camera, which is crazy. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sold. Red deserves every single penny that they're getting for these cameras, because hey, they got it. Whatever they doing over there, they're doing it. But no, for real though, my first time using a real cinema camera, and a camera that has all the features of a real cinema camera, is insane. I could sit here forever and talk about the dynamic range on this camera. I thought my Sony FX3 had amazing dynamic range, which it does, don't get me wrong, but the dynamic range that comes from this camera and the highlight roll off, and I hate to say it, but the look of the image is looking. I've never used a camera that had a Super 35 sensor, so I was super interested to see how different it was going to look compared to like a full frame or a crop sensor. I've also never used a camera that had a global shutter. And in retrospect, some of these things just don't matter to me because you can still produce quality and amazing stuff with whatever camera you choose to make videos with. But after using this camera and experiencing some of these things firsthand, I gotta tell you, it's different. The global shutter alone is enough reason for me to buy this camera because the handheld look from this camera is like a true handheld. Like, you ever see a handheld shot and you're like, that was beautiful? It's because it was shot with something with a shutter like the one on this camera, where you don't get the rolling shutter and things don't look like this. It looks like true handheld work, and man, beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. But for the record, I'm not about to sit here and hype this camera up or act like I'm a Red fanboy, because I'm not. But I am very, very passionate about making images in general, whether it's with a photo camera or a video camera. It's a reason why these cameras are Netflix approved, and I do think that they are the leading camera in Netflix series, like leading camera used in Netflix series, and it's a reason why. And it's also crazy that you can get a Netflix approved camera for $6,000, which is relatively cheap. But I do want to say, once you start adding stuff to this camera, because you are going to have to add stuff to this camera to get it up and running, definitely is going to, you know, rack up in price. Like, there's a monitor, because you need a monitor for this camera, because the monitor that comes on this camera is just a little screen on top of the camera, and it's like not useful for everything that you're trying to do. You're gonna have to get batteries and cores and lenses and all type of stuff. So the camera's not cheap by any means, but it's definitely a cheaper option if you're trying to get into this stuff now and have the funds to do so. I also want to say that I am very used to running gun. This camera is very discreet. I can like put it in here and like not be seen with it. If I go into a store and I want to get a quick shot or something like that, I can just take this out, get the shot, and leave, and not necessarily be seen or not cause too much of a commotion or disturbance. But this camera, I walk in, you know exactly what I'm doing. It's not very easy to hide, and yeah, you can't really be discreet with it. But it is a running gun camera. If you take everything off the camera, it is a little bit more concealable, but at the same time, it just works better with everything attached to it. And I hate using this phrase because I am a firm believer of any camera being made for whatever you want to use it for, but I do think that this camera benefits from a setup and a rig, and it's supposed to be used in this way where it's set up and used for a production. But don't get me wrong, you can run and gun and take this camera wherever you want and do whatever you want. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying. And also, the startup time to this camera is not necessarily the quickest. I wouldn't say that it's extremely slow, but it's definitely not like, if I turn my FX3 on right now, it's going to immediately turn on. This takes about 30 seconds, probably longer. I didn't time it, but that's what it feels like. I don't know. But yeah, it's just something about going out to shoot, seeing something in your head, envisioning something, getting it back home on your computer, and it looking the exact way you expected it and wanted it to look when you envisioned it. I shot in ProRes the whole time. I tried to shoot the raw file, but it was a lot and just, to me, not worth it for a YouTube video. But I will say that I am in love with this camera. I do myself want to get one of these cameras, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all gonna have to start watching the videos a little bit more, liking, showing your friends, because you know your boy trying to get up there. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to get up there so I can give back to y'all and give more to you guys, and you know, just do more for y'all. So please, you know what I'm saying, watch the videos. You ain't got to, but hey, please. But don't get me wrong, the FX3 is still probably my favorite camera that I've ever used for video, ever. And that's probably not going to change no matter what I shoot with, whether it's an RE or whatever. It's just certain things about the FX3 that just can't be, like, or you just can't do on like a big rig or a big cinema camera that I personally love and don't take for granted. So I do love this camera, especially for doing stuff here on YouTube. But yeah, since I got this camera, I've been using it nonstop, whether it was to shoot stuff around the house. Oh yeah, also I am filming this talking portion right now on the camera. This is why you can't see it and I'm not holding it. I'm filming on it because I wanted to see what it looked like in the office too. I gotta see what it looked like in all scenarios. So yeah, I've been using it nonstop since I got it. Just to see how it was, and I'm not gonna lie, I love using this camera. But yeah, Red is an amazing camera brand. Like I said, some of the best movies we've ever seen, some of the best movies we've ever talked about were shot with Red cameras, and again, I wish I had one, but we'll see how that works out in the future. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, who knows. Last thing that I want to mention that's not really that big of a deal, but I did not shoot any of this on cinema lenses. I was using Canon L lenses, I do think these are. I haven't used a Canon lens or a Canon anything in so long, so I don't recall. But all of this in 24 frames per second, because I'm not really that big into slow-mo. I don't really care. Don't really have too much more to say about the camera. I showed you every piece and bit of footage that I shot with it. Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all my take on using a Red camera, and if I was to own one, these are the type of things that I would be shooting and more. So I ain't gonna lie, subscribe to the channel. That's gonna wrap it up for me. If you are not subscribed, oh no, wait, if you are subscribed, I'm not talking to you, because you already did what you had to do. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, support your boy. Truly, I would gratefully appreciate it. The other YouTubers say, ring the bell so you get notified every single time I drop a video. Like this video, do all the stuff, man. We are still giving away the Fuji X-T5. We are almost to our milestone in which I need to reach in order to give the camera away. So be on the lookout for that as well. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let's go do this shit, man. You know the vibes. Let's get it.